Well, hello and welcome to Bryn Rhyfel. This is my first ride out on any of the bikes. I'm on the scooter because I hurt my back yesterday doing some stuff with the beast. So yeah, it's my first trip out. It's a glorious day. So we're going to be looking at, believe it or not, something to do with films, 1980s films involving motorcycles and pop stars. So you know, it'll be one of those situations where, and I'm about to get interrupted again, don't mind the joggers, it's cars. One of those situations where a pop star, lots of young girlies deeply attracted to him, and all the young lads been using their dad's high karate, their Old Spice, their splash it all over Brute 33, their high karate, you know, all those sort of things. They'll have been dead jealous at these girls getting incredibly moist at the thought of one David Essex. So let's go for a little ride and we'll see what I can show you. I want to take you back first of all to the summer of 1979. And back in 1979, and we're going to go back to the British Grand Prix. There's a bloke in there, you might have heard of him, Roger Marshall. He competed and he wasn't very successful. He finished something in the teens, I can't remember the exact position. He actually qualified 16th and didn't finish. His bike was very special because it would then be seen again. Let's go this way and let's terrorise the van. It would then be seen on the silver screen. Ooh, that sounded good, that for me, that did. Yeah, it was then seen in the film Silver Dream Racer. Silver Dream Racer was a story of a young lad trying to make it successful and win. And his bike was this one-off. Now, to build the one-off, they couldn't just stick a production bike in it because you get all the experts going, oh, that film's not real, it's not a one-off, that's a Yamaha RD, that's a Suzuki RG, whatever, boring. Nerds like me and, you know, boring old farts like me. So they couldn't do that, so they had to build something special. You can't have a bike that's going to actually race in a genuine Grand Prix in proper race conditions if it ain't a proper race bike, can you? So what did they do? Well, they got a firm called Barton Engineering and a bloke called, I think it's Brand Beardsley. I've seen different spellings and pronunciations. But Barton Engineering built race bikes called Spartans, Sparton, not Spartan as in kit cars and the Spartans themselves. Spartans weren't around in there were engines. Anyway, yeah, so our people had to build a race bike. So they did. They actually built two. Now, in the past, as you'll see from the video in the top corner, if I remember to put it up there, you'll see a story about Formula One and this area having its own little Formula One history. Well, believe it or not, what we now call Motor Grand Prix, in this area, we had that history. Isn't that amazing? And I'm going to take you to the what would now be described as something like the Technical Innovation Centre or some such flashy term. I'm going to take you to that, where said motorcycle was designed and built. Now these bikes, particularly fascinating. The original basis of the engine was a Suzuki, I think it was a GT380 or something like that, and it produced 30 something brake horsepower. With a lot of wizardry and water cooling, Barton managed to get something like 150 to 160 brake horsepower out of it. So these Spartans were quite quick, because they hadn't got the technical financial backup of the factories. Obviously they weren't going to be so reliable, but when they were working, they were quite quick. So they built machines. So we're talking a 500 Grand Prix machine, one off, to be ridden in a film. Now, interestingly, the film star is David Essex. You know, here, we're gonna make you a star, that sort of song, you know. So he did a Dennis Waterman, as I call it, and he sang the theme tune, Silver Dream Machine. Now, don't get confused with Hawkwind's Silver Machine. Very different time, very different type of band, and I would dare say that Lemmy is a very different character to David Essex. Is there a slippery road? I bet there is slippery road. We've had lots of ice and muck round here. Yeah, so here we are. We've got the situation, David Essex. Now, David Essex can ride a motorbike. I know that. You know that. Most people can ride a motorbike if they want to. Anyway, David Essex can. For the film, the insurance stipulation apparently was, according to legend, he had a restricted speed limit. Now, bearing in mind we're riding in the British Grand Prix, you can't really have someone riding on a restricted speed limit, especially when the speed limit is, and I kid you not, 15 miles per hour. So that's 10 kilometres an hour for you in the kilometres world. Yeah, that's just asking for death, isn't it? You know, and particularly with a race bike, the bike's just going to oil up and foul its plugs, and it's going to bang. So hence they had Roger Marshall. So Roger takes the bike out. He goes out, has a good ride, but it was really, really slow. And as is the world of our friends in the world of motorsports, why let, you know, the rules get in the way of a good story, so to speak? The bike's not registered as part of the championship. It's not taking any points off anybody. Somehow, it supposedly gained a 750cc engine. Yeah, so he's in the 500cc World Championship Grand Prix, British Grand Prix 1979, and he's riding a 500cc with a bit added on, half as much again. But it wasn't reliable. As I understood it, I can't remember the race. As I understood it, poor old Marshall rides along, bike plays up, gets a fuel leak, so they park it up and wait till the nearly end of the race. Well, actually the end of the race for real. Because getting across the finish line is a fundamental requirement, should we say, of the plot of the film. So when we get to the end of this lane, we're going to find what would now be, you know, some fancy term, technical excellence centre or whatever. But I just thought it was quite a humorous story. And the beauty of the story is it's local. Now, I didn't know that there was this small factory producing pretty wicked race machinery, pushing the boundaries of two-stroke engineering for racers, and then getting themselves into the Hollywood movies. I mean, okay, it's probably Pinewood or Elstree or something like that, but you know what I mean. You know, films are all, you know, we all say Hollywood, don't we? God, I can hardly see where I'm going. Now, the reason I've come this way as opposed to coming on the main road is my last video went down the main road to get roughly where I wanted to be. And I thought, everyone else is riding around little tiny country lanes in the middle of winter. You don't want me riding the same lane twice, especially 2 weeks running. So I thought I'd come down here, and I hope you like it. It's quite pretty. It is slimy and slippery. There's a fair bit of muck on the place, but hey ho. The transit will have to wait because I am not going to risk myself. Now, interestingly, down here, right, there's a house, and it used to have two Fiat X19s outside. Oh, fucking hell, I can't see it. It was here, actually. Let me come out and park up. Let this transit get past. Okay, Citroen. Just takes the heat off me. Yeah, I used to have them there. I took a photo of it once. Won't even slip it in. So we're getting quite close now to what can only be described as the hub of this technological marvel. Well, we're stuck here waiting for the various vehicles. Hope you can enjoy a nice scenic view. A gateway with a view. Well, this has completely mucked my film up, really, isn't it? But there you go. I wouldn't mind, but we're right near the end. But you got your gateway with a view, saddlebags. I haven't got a bus stop for Exeter Rider yet, mind you. So here we are. Ahead of us now, believe it or not, the Nazareth Chapel at Pontrigue. The Nazareth Chapel, Pontrigue, built in 1881. Home of the real Silver Dream racer of none other than the Spartan Racers. Well, there you are, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed that. The home of the real Silver Dream racer.